This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's jump into some fan questions here.
I love the fan questions.
Uso wants to know, Jim, who had more backstage heat, Terry Taylor or Paul Heyman?
Good question. Paul Heyman, he took it to the next level.
He's an overachiever, that Paul Heyman.
Yeah, well, Paul Heyman had the ability to say caustic things, but in a context that he could make an argument that I didn't mean it personally type deal. Heyman by far.
Ted the Hillbilly Hill says, we knew Terry had backstage heat, but was there a talent Terry really had heat with and just didn't like? Did somebody stand out? Like, man, those
not really. Nobody stood out that I could think of. I'm sure there are some that didn't agree with him. But no specific individual stands out that would have been sideways with Taylor.
Instagram or wrestling historian wants to know, in your opinion, Jim, why didn't Terry Taylor become a big star?
I think we've explained that. His own self, his own way of thinking, the way he approached things, the way he communicated. It had nothing to do. Sorry, Conrad. It had nothing to do with his inability to work bell to bell. Get rid of that. It's all Terry brought on these issues largely himself by opening his mouth when it should have been shut. And at the end of the day, that's kind of where I see his legacy. Very talented, but a very poor communicator in that era. Obviously, he's communicating better now because he's had his job in NXT for quite some time. I've heard talent say how much he's helped them. And I think he's finally found his calling.
Kurt Zamora wants to know, Jim, in your opinion, is Terry Taylor the epitome of being your own worst enemy?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Being too smart for your own britches.
Well, I wish we weren't ending on a down question, but Tony Flowers says, is Terry is famous for his apparent political nature. Do you believe Terry came to wrestling that way, or do you think wrestling made him that way over time?
I think probably over time and the experiences that Terry had, that's how he was conditioned. Then it became, he fell into the lot of a lot of his peers. Terry Taylor's not the only guy that has these traits.
Right.
Good Lord. More of the guys have these traits than don't. So I think he probably acquired those skills. You want to say that loosely, over time. And he also saw what role politics played in pro wrestling, especially in that era. And it's still playing today to varying degrees of reality, because it hasn't gone away. It's just politics are a big part of pro wrestling. They always have been. They were since the first day I walked into the dressing room, the first time in 1974. It was that way. And it hasn't changed a damn bit.
Well, this show is changing. Next week, we're going to be talking about something a little more modern, but it's still 25 years old. We're talking SummerSlam 1996. And the main event, it's Shawn Michaels and Vader. And of course, famously, it was supposed to be a 3-match series on pay-per-view, but this match changed all that. We'll talk about that next week, as well as Mankind versus The Undertaker, Jerry Lawler versus Jake Roberts in, well, a spectacle of a match. Goldust is working with Mark Miro. Psycho Sid is in there with the British Bulldogs. We've got a 4-way elimination tag for the WWF tag titles with the Smoking Guns, the New Rockers. We'll talk about that. The Godwins, and of course the Body Donnas. And then Owen Hart and Savio Vega open the pay-per-view, but the free for all, even that was interesting. Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be facing Yokozuna, and they do something with the ring that we're going to talk about. It's SummerSlam 1996. The NWO's heating up. Things are getting hot on the other channel, and you can just feel there's competition, and wrestling is building and booming again. And we hope that we're sort of living that again now in 2021, Jim. Tomorrow night, Rampage, the very first one, live from Pittsburgh. I'm going to be watching, man. I can't wait to see what you guys do.
It's going to be on TNT. Where the Time Warner folks are flexing their muscles and their support of our brand. You know, we're always going to be in some role on TNT. These specials, which I perceive to be kind of like a Clash of the Champions type thing.
Yeah.
Before we move full time over to TBS for Dynamite, and then eventually for Rampage as well. So, yeah, it's the start of a new era. Will we have the same success and the same momentum building for our brand on Rampage as we've had on Dynamite? And the Dynamite ratings have been phenomenal. Anytime you're the #1 show on cable on your night, I don't give a shit what your product is. It's a big deal. So we're growing well, and it's going to be fun. So hope everybody gives it a chance. It tunes in. You know, here's the irony of this. As you and I are recording this, Conrad, I don't have a clue who's on the broadcast team. I've heard a lot of rumor and a lot of speculation. I don't think it's me in any stretch of the imagination. I think others should be able to build their own brand on that show. But it's going to be, they're not going to be a throwaway show. This is not going to be, what was that show that WWE did, or excuse me, WCW did Nitro and
Thunder.
It ain't going to be Thunder.
Yeah.
In all due respect to the Thunderites of the world.
Yeah, Thunder was like a side, right? So if Nitro was the steak, Thunder was the asparagus. But I get it. It's a wrestling podcast, but he's saving us money on our mortgage. Do you really trust this process? The reviews don't lie. 5-star review after 5-star review. We make it fast, we make it easy, and it's no cost or obligation. Give us a shot to earn your business. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did, especially if you like keeping more of your own money. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket, so what are you waiting for? Hurry to savewithconrad.com. I understand that Rampage, it's going to be something else entirely. Now, as a reminder, there's now 3 hours of wrestling on Friday. You'll have 2 hours of WWE SmackDown on Fox. As soon as that's over, click over to TNT. AEW's live tomorrow night, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun continuing our adventure. This new brand, this rollout, this startup operation, and how we're growing has been nothing short of extraordinary. We appreciate everybody at least giving us a chance to evaluate our product. It's not a wrestling award. The war is us against our own selves getting better, and our talents getting better. So it's going to be good. So it should be fun, man. I'm excited about the growth of our company, and hopefully Rampage is going to fit right in there really, really well. And I think the curiosity factor for Rampage has been heightened. So, because there's a lot of speculation who's going to appear on that show, and that could be really, really big news.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.